Urban development is indeed very important in line with the current of modernization in this era. Because of that, every country wants to race in implementing development that can meet the demand of the population, and even become an attraction for foreign tourists to come to a country. Urban planning requires research in designing each lot of land, with emphasis placed on aspects of development, security, ability to expand, and so on. A city is designed to maximize the use of available land as best as possible, and based on that purpose, the land area factor plays a very large role in enabling a city to be developed effectively. But there are also cities that are built in areas that are rarely chosen to become cities. Normally, the government in any country would not choose to develop a city in a remote area, and coupled with the absence of logistics facilities. For this reason, the city of Yanjin, located in Yunnan, China, is said to be unique compared to other cities around the world because of its position and its extraordinary design. Built along the Nanxi River between steep mountains in Yunnan province, the city of Yanjin has been hailed as the narrowest city in the world. If you look at the panorama of Yanjin city from the air, it's hard to imagine that the settlement actually exists in real life. So, in this video we will see one of the cities in China, namely Yanjin, as the narrowest city in the world. Keep watching. Yanjin is located in Yunnan province, bordering Sichuan province in southwest China. Despite its limited area, the city is home to about 450,000 people, with the narrowest point of Yanjin city being 30 meters wide. The widest space in the city is measured at about 300 meters. Yanjin is a city designed in a mountainous area, which seems to enclose the city, and in the middle of it there is a big river called Hung River. The city of Yanjin was built along the foot of the mountain, and was separated into two parts along this river. The two separate parts of the city are connected through several shared bridges. On each side of Yanjin city there is a main road, and only two roads exist along the banks of the river. Due to its unique design, Yanjin is known as the narrowest city in the world, with the narrowest area separating the two zones of the city, only 30 meters wide. Background of Yanjin City, Yunnan. Yanjin County is located in the northeastern part of Yunnan Province, and the junction area between Yunnan Province and Sichuan Province. It borders Juanlian County and Yibin County in the northeast, Iliang County in the south, Suijiang County and Yongshan County in the west, and Shuifu County in the north. There are 4 cities and 6 townships under Yanjin County administration. Yanjin is rich in natural resources such as Mount Meyer and the Dushaguan Scenic Area. Economically, Yanjin used to be a former trading hub for bronze, salt, and tea. The early inhabitants of Yanjin originally came as workers to work the hundreds of salt wells opened in the mountainous area. In ancient times, the people of Yanjin made ferries their main mode of transportation. The ferry is also a vehicle for transporting salt that has been processed for export. Yanjin got its beautiful name because there is an old water well in this area. In 1917, Yanjin was officially registered as a district. Yanjin's economy is not growing. Yanjin is a very unique city, and certainly not the same as other cities in China or the world. Despite being called the narrowest city in the world, this city has actually been inhabited since hundreds of years ago. Even the people in Yanjin also refused to migrate to the big city, and chose to continue living here. However, the economy in this city is not as luxurious as other major cities in China. This is due to its position that is difficult for investors to access. Apart from its extreme narrowness, Yanjin also has another notable feature. Since land is a very valuable commodity in this area, many apartment buildings have been built and are located right on the banks of the river. It was built on very tall thin pillars to protect the city, should the water level of the river rise during the rainy season. Because the city is located in a high mountainous area, the development of the city can be seen upwards, rather than widely. Many debate how Yanjin can be made into a city, as there are various issues and geographical barriers, which have caused the economic growth in Yanjin to be very slow. This includes the lack of a bridge to connect the two separate urban zones, and the difficulty of road access to get there. Despite the various problems, the people of Yanjin still choose to live in this area, because they feel that their way of life is familiar with this situation. Flooding problem in Yanjin City. Due to its location right by the river and located in a mountainous area, Yanjin has been facing a rather severe flood problem for a long time. Although Yanjin residents have to face the risk of flooding almost every rainy season, efforts to overcome the flooding problem in Yanjin are difficult to carry out. This is due to logistical constraints as well as the costs required to overcome the very high flood problem. So, in order to reduce the risk of flood disaster, the municipal system in the city has adopted a simple solution to deal with the problem of homes and buildings being flooded. The solution used is to build buildings on concrete piles, which are added in height. This aims to increase the height of each building to be built, about 6 floors from the actual ground level. With this solution, the city of Yanjin managed to reduce the risk of facing severe damage to property. Besides, people's lives can be better supervised every time a flood occurs, whether small or large. Among the major floods that ever hit Yanjin was in the summer of 2020, so much so that they had to evacuate thousands of residents. In addition to flooding, Yanjin residents who live in the mountainous area are also exposed to the risk of landslides. The importance of urban development. Urban development can be defined as progress achieved from the aspects of infrastructure, economy, social, spiritual, sustainability, and physical properties of a city. From the community's point of view, urban development can also be interpreted as the process of transforming a backward area into a developed area, and developing the effects of urban growth. The results of urban development can be seen through an increase in population, an increase in economic activity, an increase in the intensity of use in addition to an increase in the standard and quality of life of the population. What happened in the city of Yanjin proves how important a good urban development plan is. Urban development should be able to increase economic opportunities in a city. When there is urban development, this will attract the attention of foreign investors to come and invest in the city. But in contrast to what happened in Yanjin, the gloomy economic situation faced by the people of Yanjin today is due to the failure in the city's development planning. In conclusion, the economic issues that do not develop and the flood problems faced by the people of Yanjin are due to the failure of planning in the development of the city there. Even so, Yanjin residents who have lived there for centuries still choose to stay in Yanjin. After the viral video about the existence of the city of Yanjin, many questioned the safety status and habitability of the buildings in Yanjin. The building there is already in a dilapidated state due to its location on the riverbank and the effects of frequent floods that hit the area. This has given a big impact to the maintenance cost of each existing building. Thank you for watching.